We are so back. We are back in this thing, man. You got the Facts Over Axe crew back in the building. I'm so happy for Chris because nobody thought his Steelers would be here. You know, he used to pray for times like this. I'm lying. Steelers fans don't know no damn struggle. Y'all don't know what the struggle is like. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know nothing about it. R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan, but they don't know what we've been through. They don't know the half of it. But anyway, there has been a lot since the last time that we came here, but I promise you, the Facts Over Axe crew is, we're going to be back. We're going to be being more consistent. Life be lifing, though. You know what I mean? Life be lifing, and when we say life be lifing, we mean everyday, ordinary stuff that sometimes stack up and build, and sometimes it is a major moment that overcomes you. However, we got to talk about the experience of being on the other side of a very unordinary moment to start this show off. Now, let's start here, okay? Y'all see the name of the episode. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what we got to get into, right? This is a freak off free zone. So let's make this very clear. Diddy is a heinous human being. He needs to be buried under the jail. To have so much going on in your freakos that everybody getting drugged and people need IVs and all that, you're a sicko. You're a weirdo.
IVs is insane, bro.
I had a teammate. I love him to death. He's like a brother to me right now still. He used to need IVs, but because he was a lineman that had I want to say 8 or 9% body fat. It's hard for your body to sustain that level of energy without cramping up. But with that being said, an IV for just that 3-day long marathon. Again, prison ain't enough. Put Buddy in a supermax like he's Timofey Mozgov coming off of 4 rebounds per game. Supermax that guy. Now, with that being said, today's question to start the show off. People are making much to do about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil found in the crib. That is obviously a very important area of talk that people are getting into. So let me ask y'all this. You're a cashier at a store, right? You're at a Walmart you know what? Let's be generous. You're at Costco, right? You're at Costco where people come to buy stuff in bulk. How many bottles of baby oil could a patron come in and buy before you are alerting the authorities on the low? What does that look like?
For starters, is the baby oil on sale?
No, regular price.
Regular price? Okay. This might be a little low. I'm going with 2.
Really?
Here's why I'm going with 2. How many bottles of baby oil have y'all gone through in y'all life? We in our late 20s. I can't recall using a bottle of baby oil from beginning to end. Like, baby oil was always something that was just like in the crib. Like your parents probably bought it when you was an infant and it just stayed in the crib. Like I can't recall. Have y'all ever went to the store to buy baby oil at all?
Yes.
Wow, boy. I haven't bought baby oil ever in my life, bro.
Hey, I've cleared 3 bottles. That's all I've cleared in my life.
But still, at the same time, though, you clear 3 bottles in your entire life, and I'm assuming these are just the regular Johnson & Johnson with like 16 ounces or whatever it is. Yeah, regular size. Understood.
But Gibbs also got a nice head shine when you see him too. So
I was just about to say, like I do like I oil up, like I double moisturize because I didn't moisturize for a while. Then when I found out you could double moisturize, especially during the summer, you put the lotion on after you get out the shower, let that set for like 15, 20 minutes. Then you put the baby oil on top of it. Now you glisten.
Personally, I'm a lotion, and then I hit the shea butter after the lotion.
That's a good combo. That's a good combo. I just prefer baby oil for some reason. I don't know why. It just hit different.
I still don't moisturize, bro. I gotta learn. That's crazy. Yeah, you gotta start moisturizing.
Spend too much time in Boston, my boy.
2 bottles is hell.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Josh, what they tell him? Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Chris, talk to us. Big time, Chris. How many bottles of baby oil could be purchased on your watch without you alerting the authorities?
I'm gonna have to go like 5. If we at Costco, like 5. Cause me personally, let me tell you why. 5 is crazy, right? 5 is crazy.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, right? I'm the type of person that when I go to the store, I get 7, 8 cases of water from Costco because I'm not going to Costco or I'm not carrying them up the stairs to my apartment. Like, I'm doing it once a quarter versus, once every other week. Like, I'm the type of person that buys stuff like that, right? So if a brother come in, look relatively young or even old nowadays, and he could have like 10 kids. Like, look at Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill was buying baby oil for all them babies he got, and he came through the line with 5 bottles, I'll be like, okay, that makes sense. But like, after 5, it started getting like, okay, bro, like, what's going on, bro? what like this is 5 2-gallon sizes of baby oil. This is 10 gallons of baby oil. You ain't got that many kids.
Let me tell you something, Chris. I'm right there with you. And I'm going to be nefarious with it. I'm going to take it to the freak off zone for just a minute. And not the Diddy freak off zone. If you are producing or directing some flicks, right, and you need 5 bottles, you going to have a lot left over. You know what I mean?
That's facts. That's facts.
Y'all have watched what I have watched for the most part. You going to need...
if you hit 5 bottles, that was like in your budget for the month.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you good. You for real. You know what I mean? Like, as somebody who's dabbled in using baby oil for some of those activities, you don't need, even if you were shooting for the flick and everything got to be aesthetically clean and nice and oily and shiny, you're not using more than 5 bottles for one shoot. What are you doing over there? What's going on? The minute that I see bottle number 6, I'm pressing that little silent alarm under the desk for they got when they getting robbed. I'm pressing that. And when the cops get there, like, oh, is there a robbery? No, there's something more sinister going on. He's taking a little more than some money, this guy. I'd advise y'all look into it. Check the hard drives. Check the damn hard drive, because there's never any need for that. I asked one of my homeboys this earlier. He said about 100. I said 100.
100
before you start asking questions. See, you the type of guy that somebody could walk into your line. Let me get duct tape, this rope, this switchblade, and
a shovel.
Do you know anything to dissolve human dog remains? And you would just be like, oh, yeah, for sure. We got some hydrochloric acid in the back. Yeah, you can make sure you put it in plastic, though. You only want to have that in plastic. If it's in anything else, it'll cause a mess for you. You that type of guy. I'm going to tell you, me, when I see that, yeah, go ahead. Press the button. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, get him right here. He asking for some weird stuff. The minute I see that 6 bottle of baby oil slide across, that little, the little check-in joint, yeah, don't worry about it. You finna have a weird case. They finna be asking why you're around, brother, because you're cooked. You are absolutely cooked. But anywho, that was our intro to the show. Now we gotta really get into it. Fellas, we got so much going on with the season. It is barely week 2, and we've already got some Super Bowl controversy. We've got some surprises. Like I said, you can see Chris donning his Steelers shirt. Talking about, y'all ain't fans of an undefeated team? Can't relate. No, don't worry about it. Justin Fields it up in just a minute. We ain't getting there. And we have got to talk about our boy Woj Bombs no longer bringing the bombs. Very sad day for the sports media world. So we remember a legend and talk about some of our favorites. Fellas, y'all ready to get into it?
I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir.
All righty, well, let's do it. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the facts over Axe Crew. We got the master, the mixer master, Josh Guyton in the building.
That is I.
We got the money man, the man of the plan, Chris Allen in the building.
Right here.
And then you got the little old MC, that's me, Kenton Gibbs. Now, fellas, the Super Bowl was announced, or it has been announced, rather, that Kendrick Lamar is headlining the halftime performance at the Super Bowl. This has caused a lot of controversy as the Super Bowl is in New Orleans. They're now having rappers. Lil Wayne thought that he was going to get it. He's obviously from Louisiana, from New Orleans and all that. He didn't get it. But fellas, let me ask you this. What are your instant reactions to Kendrick Lamar getting the Super Bowl halftime?
It don't surprise me. I mean, Kendrick had the hottest song of the summer. Um, Culturally, I think this is the hottest a rap song has been in like from a mainstream scale, like a rap song. I can't think of a last time like a rap song has made this big of an impact, just as far as like how many ears it reached and like how it shifted culture. So I don't really think it's a surprise. And I don't know what people was expecting Lil Wayne to perform at the, because it's in New Orleans. I mean, we seen New Orleans host a Super Bowl in our lifetime more than once, and Lil Wayne wasn't selected then. So like, why is it an issue now? And at the same time, has anybody seen Lil Wayne perform recently?
Yeah, I heard it was Buns. I haven't seen it personally, but I just heard
It's with Lil Wayne performing now is like you ever be at the family reunion and you got that drunk uncle that used to sing like I could have been in Motown. I could have been one of them Temptations. But like he started doing dope at like 74 and he's still kicking. But then like My Girl Come On and he still trying to do like his little routine. That's what Lil Wayne performing right now looks like.
he about 3 Coke 45s in, talking about, I'm so in love with her. Oh, damn. Chris, what's your instant reaction to Kendrick getting the Super Bowl, man? Talk to me.
Hey man, music stinks right now. Like music is stinky right
Yeesh.
now. So I think this is the best thing, the best right move to do, because that is probably the banger of the summer. Surprisingly, this song is the banger of the summer. And the craziest part of it is people acting like Kendrick is not a award-winning artist. Like, when did the Kendrick slander become okay? Like, when did Kendrick become like not a award-winning rapper?
This beef made me realize people don't really be listening to music. Like if something got like a fire beat and like they think it's catchy, like there's a lot of people out there that like they don't listen to music. Whatever TikTok told them they supposed to be listening to, that's what they've been listening to.
You know, I'm gonna tell you this. Rap is becoming pop a little bit in that way. In that, I believe it was Mos Def who said that like, oh, Drake's music, it could play in Target. And like that's legit, like
Yeah.
that's kind of the deal. That's kind of, and it's not about Drake. This is not an indictment of Drake or anything like that. But this is just a critique of milk, or a critique of rap being made very milk toast, very bland, very like, oh, I don't want to talk about things that make people uncomfortable. I want to talk about stuff that like is fun, is upbeat, is commercial, because the commercial success. A lot of people talk about what Quavo new music sounds like. Quavo is very clearly making music for the NFL to use. Like that's that joint with Lenny Kravitz. Oh, every commercial, that's what's gonna be played going into it. So that's just a matter of that. There, I'm gonna tell you this: people tend to forget the NFL is a business. That's all. That's all, and that's it.
Yeah.
And businesses want to do what? Chris, you're the money man, the man, the player. What do businesses want to do?
They want to improve that dollar in operating income. They want to make profit hand over fist.
Profit. There we go. Profit. That's it. It's all about the pros. All pros in, none out. That's what they want. And guess what gives you the easiest opportunity at that? The biggest song in America that lasted all the way from the summer up through now. When, mind you, it's a different world than it was when we were kids. Y'all remember when we were kids how long Yeah was on the radio?
Oh my, do y'all know a song like You Could Not Escape? I still hate this song to this day. The apple bottom jeans, bro, that was on commercials, that was on adult movies, kids movies, the black radio, the white radio. You could not escape that song, bro.
But you get what I'm saying.
Once the song in the top 40, it's over.
Now let me ask you this. What rap song outside of Not Like Us has had staying power beyond like 2 months to where you heard it everywhere?
Only thing
Uh,
I can think of is that Gunna. Today is a good day. Today is a good day by Gunna. Like that's still, it's got a long run right now. And that's because everybody put it in their stories and
if I'm
it's
being honest with you,
every video.
I'm not sure I've ever heard that song.
I was just about to say I don't know what that song is, but
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take
Yeah,
your
I'm
word
not sure.
for it. I've never
It's
heard
something
it,
that was
but-
as big as Not Like Us.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't even want as big as Not Like Us. I just want something that's in that vicinity. You get what I'm saying? Like something that has lasted 2 to 3 months, like an entire season of wherever you go, you're gonna hear people playing that song. It just doesn't exist.
I can't think of it.
So for a song to have that staying power at this point in time, they had to rock with it. Now I will say this: Lil Wayne look crazy doing all that crying and complaining and all that. It's like, bro, you'll be alright. Like, you will be a-okay. Like, what are we doing here with all this crying and all that? And the biggest thing I think is this: you have now ruined your opportunity to come out with
Yeah.
the guy. You ruined your opportunity. Y'all remember when Wayne said he was gonna retire? What did Kendrick Lamar do? Hopped on live talking about no, you can't retire, rapping this man's songs on live.
Yep.
And not once did we hear, hey man, congratulations to Kendrick, he got the hottest song in America, he deserves it. Not once did we hear, it is my hometown, but at the end of the day, he's what's popping right now. Not once did we hear, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner, he's the guy right now, got to give him his props. I wish the decision would have went another way, but I know he gonna kill it. Not once did we hear none of that. I'm broken, and I gotta put me back together. Man, shut your ass up.
I mean, I will say this just because I'm the only wrestler fan here. Other people might have seen it. I don't think either one of y'all watched WrestleMania this year. Wayne performed at WrestleMania, and it was uncomfortable, not only for me, who used to be a Wayne fan, but like the crowd was visibly uncomfortable. The performance was so bad that like people was just sitting around, like not cheering, not singing along, nothing. And that's not because they didn't know the songs. Like this was like an uncomfortable watch. And that was at WrestleMania, where it's 60,000 people in the crowd and maybe 10 million watching. The Super Bowl will have 100 million people watching it.
Yeah. And somebody in the comments chirped in that Drake had a few, including Jumpman. Jumpman was a while ago, but that's the difference of what I'm saying. 10 years ago, it was normal for songs to have 3-month runs. It was normal.
That's the way music was.
If you had a hit, that hit was going to ride all throughout the summer, all throughout the fall, all throughout whenever. These songs don't last no more. It just, you hear
R.I.P.
something
Rich
that's
Homie
hot.
Quan, man.
Hey, R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan, because I'm going to tell you, Some Type of Way went crazy for how long? Walk Through went crazy for how long? You see what I'm saying?
I pulled up the prom 4 different times to that song. Like I went to 4 proms. I put the prom all 4 times to that.
To Walk Through? Oh, of course. You got to. You got to. You can't not pull up to that song. But objectively speaking though, again, that's a different time that we're looking at. I think it was something that happened during COVID. That was like a portal that transformed everything into a very different situation.
I think COVID ruined everybody's attention span. Because even if you think about it, people not even making music for the sake of making music no more. They like, all right, let's go ahead and get these streams, which is why you might hear a song on TikTok on a 30-second clip and be like, yo, this song kind of fire. Let me look it up. And you look it up and a song be 50 seconds long.
Or you hear a snippet from TikTok and then you like, oh, this is fire. Then you hear the song, you like, yo, this is ass. This is like, I done watched a 4-hour Meg Thee Stallion twerk video, mind your business, and it's not this bad. It's not this much bad. This is crazy. So no, I
for me it be all the dances that come with the songs, and I'll be like, bro, I just want to listen. I don't want to watch. Like, why I gotta see the dance and all?
Chris
and
said he may be light skinned, but he ain't shaking no hips. He ain't hitting no. He said that ain't for me, brother. I feel you though. I 1,000% feel you. I get you. I listen. 1,000% understand where you're going there. So objectively speaking, when you got the biggest song in America, it's got to rock. But now that sparks a separate conversation because there's a lot of questions about whether or not Kendrick performs Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. Fellas, what y'all think? Chris, I'm going to start off with you. You think he performs at the Super Bowl or no?
Why wouldn't he, bro? Like, that is the hottest song of 2024. Like, what do people not understand about that? You don't have to say every explicit word there, but he gonna say the song, sing the song. Like, I mean, Dr. Dre, 50, everybody that did gangster rap back in the day was singing whatever. Ain't no way. You know, they did it a couple years ago, not last year, but they did it a couple years ago, and it's just like, come on now, y'all. Like, who feelings gonna be hurt? He's singing something that you hear on the radio.
No, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. Josh, what you thinking?
Okay, so for starters, it's not even a question whether or not he's performing at the Super Bowl. This has been the biggest rap song in years. And on top of that, Kendrick had a concert to where he performed Not Like Us 5 times back to back. And if y'all watched that concert, where did y'all watch it?
I watched it at the crib.
But what was your how did you watch it?
Oh, I watched it streaming on Amazon.
You watched it streaming on Amazon. So you telling me that Amazon isn't big enough for Kendrick to perform Not Like Us, but the Super Bowl is where you draw the line?
You know?
Amazon is a $1 billion corporation and saw the numbers that Kendrick was doing and was like, yo, we about to put this on Amazon. We about to put this on Prime Video. We about to put this on the Amazon Music Twitch page. We putting this on the Amazon Music YouTube page. Amazon is the one that hosted that show. Actually, who performed at the Super Bowl last year?
Wasn't it Dre and Snoop?
Was it Rihanna last year? No. Rihanna was the year before.
Rihanna won last. It was Usher. It was Usher.
Usher. What do they say whenever they're like, whoever played in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes with 2 touchdowns going into the half. And ladies and gentlemen, after these messages, here's the halftime show by Usher, presented by.
Yeah. Yeah, he done sprayed so hard that mic gave out
Amazon hosts the halftime show.
Yeah. Hey, listen. My question is not whether or not he performed it. How many times does he perform it? The under over is at 1.5. Chris, you're the betting man. You taking the under, you taking the over. What you doing?
He might come in and come out to that boy. I'm taking the over.
Dot. Yeah, I mean, we go here. We go hear that. Wah.
I'm gonna take the over, and not only am I gonna take the over, once the show is over, they're gonna bring the song back in, and the little announcer man gonna say that concludes the Super Bowl halftime show, and then Not Like Us beat is gonna be what's playing in the background.
Here's the only thing that I will say very interesting about that. The Super Bowl tickets now, like the cheapest ones you can get is like 1,500 2 bands for like the nosebleeds. I'm sorry to tell you, Kendrick, the people you're performing Not Like Us in front of are in fact not gonna be like the Us. You know
I will say this though, another reason why we know he's gonna perform it. What would you say the average demographic is for not only people that's watching the Super Bowl, but for sure the people that's at the Super Bowl?
Oh, the demographic, that's probably going to be like a lot of influencers, it's going to be like either really young people who get paid a lot for social media or really old people who like got the bread saved up.
So what percentage of those people, when that song comes on in a crowd, is going to have any idea what the hell is going on except they like the beat and they going to dance to it?
Oh, it's going to be a very high amount of those. Very high amount of those folks. Yeah.
Exactly.
At least 60% of those.
You're going to go to the crowd and it's just going to be, I don't know, some 60-year-old dude that got a fortune off breeding racehorses and he's just going to be with his 24-year-old girlfriend or Not Like Us. He don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. He knows nothing about Baca's weird case. He knows absolutely nothing.
He actually might have a weird case himself.
Hey.
You said it, not me. You know what I mean? I was thinking it when you said 60-year-old with a 24-year-old girl. I'm like, what's going on there? But I digress.
Should have been a minor.
Wow. Hate to hear that. But now we got to get into what's going on the field. Fellas, we have some teams so far atop the standings. We have a few teams that are 2-0. We have a few teams that are 1-1, a few teams that are 0-2. Let me ask you this. Of all the 2-0 teams, which is the most surprising? The current 2-0 teams are the Bills, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Texans, the Seahawks, and the Vikings and the Saints and Buccaneers. Which 2-0 team is most surprising to you so far?
I'm going to go my most surprising team. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Just because the Vikings, they were projected to be a middle of the pack team. But I think it's how they came about those wins. Yes, we expected them to win against the New York Giants, but also if we sat here and made a football tier list, I don't think the Vikings are that many rungs ahead of the Giants. But to pick up a win.
Oh, apologies. The Chiefs are also 2-0, but I just know that they weren't going to be included on this list of most surprising.
But to pick up a win against San Francisco, although they are battling some injuries, San Francisco, if you're looking at the 11 men that's on both sides of the ball, they still have the most stacked roster in the NFL. So for the Vikings to go in there and get a win like that, I mean, they only end up winning by 6, but it was no point in that game where I felt like the Vikings weren't in control of that football game. And I don't know if this is indicative of anything for their season going forward, but this could be something for the Vikings to build off of, which is surprising me because I don't think any of us walked into this season like, the Vikings got a nice little core that they can build off of.
Yeah, 1,000%. Chris, which 2-0 team is most surprising to you so far?
Them Saints. Come on now. The Saints. The Saints are. Let me tell you what. All offseason, all I heard was Alvin Kamara's old. He's not going to be able to do the same things. Running back shelf life is this. Brother had 3 touchdowns last week against the Dallas Cowboys. The scary Dallas Cowboys with Michael Parsons, the best secondary in the league. Jerry Jones spent the money on Dak Prescott. How about him? And then Derek Carr. I mean, between him and Baker Mayfield, right now, I think they 1-2 for MVP. Other than Patrick Mahomes, obviously, but him and Baker and him, they look like they playing college again. I don't know what got into them brothers. Derek Carr dropped back 2 looks and he threw it downfield and had a touch. I was like, what's going on? What? The Saints it blows my mind. I never thought they would recover this fast after Drew Brees. It was talks last year to put Big Game James in the game. I mean, they just really surprising. Jameis Winston possibly being the starting quarterback in 2023 is insane.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, okay? When I look at all the teams that are undefeated right now, I mostly look at them and I'm like, most of them have played 2 really bad teams. Or at least 1 really, really bad team. However, I got to agree with Chris here. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Saints have also played a team in the Panthers that absolutely stink. But through the first 2 games, 91 points.
Yeah.
91 points. What under God's green earth has happened down in New Orleans? They got those boys playing like that. Derek Carr had all of
home Super Bowl.
Let me tell you something. Derek Carr had all the Saints. All of the Saints. I ain't seen Saints that mad since Jesus got strung up on that cross. You understand? I ain't never seen folks that mad in quite some time. And yet, all of a sudden, that team has people believing. And not only believing, that team has people saying that the entire division of the NFC South is better than people had originally expected. The Buccaneers have helped with that as well, but you cannot, you would be remiss to not talk about how explosive the Saints have looked early. But the offense isn't the story here. Through the first 2 games, they're giving up an average of 14.5 points. That'll play. That'll play. I don't care who you are going against. If you can hold your opponents to an average of 14.5, you will be damn okay throughout the entire season. There is nothing that you have to be concerned about. And we're not even talking about you averaging 40 every game. Even if you cut that average in half, even if you took that average down from, I believe it's 44 25.5 points per game, even if you cut it in half and you're now at 27.5, or I'm sorry, 25.5 or so, whatever it is, you're still over what you would need to beat what you are giving up defensively. That's a hell of a job, man. They're playing some serious football in terms of the New Orleans Saints and what they're doing. I'll tell you this much. It's a small sample size. They got a lot of football left ahead of them, but they're off to a damn good start. Mm-hmm. Now, I would ask who the most surprising 0-2 team is, but I think we can all agree. It's the Baltimore Ravens. Is that fair? Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah.
I mean, who else is it? It's the Panthers, Ravens, and who else?
The Panthers are 0-2. The Rams are 0-2. The Giants are 0-2. The Broncos are 0-2. The Ravens are 0-2. The Jaguars and Colts are and Titans. Everybody in the AFC South except the Texans is winless. So, that's what we got going on. Is there
I would say yes to the Ravens, but the Colts is a close second. The Colts is a real close second.
I agree with you to a point, but the way in which Michael Pittman has been a complete non-factor so far this season, that spells out trouble for them. And I know that because he's on my damn fantasy team. Michael, if you want to show up, him and Amon-Ra, I just don't know how to draft apparently. I don't need to be nobody GM. I don't need to be no damn body GM. Because
Amon-Ra got off last game. He got off last game.
He helped me out this time, but week 1, I was sitting there shaking, crying, and throwing up.
The way he was looking, I don't know if he playing next week. Do we get an injury report on him?
I don't know. We gonna see. But with that being said, fellas, the 0-2 Baltimore Ravens. What's the problem? What's going on that team, and how do they fix it?
Going through these 2 games, I couldn't even tell you what the problem is with the Ravens. I mean, this is a team you looking at. They're probably top 3 in odds to win the Super Bowl behind the Chiefs, behind the 49ers. They picked up some pieces. I understand that even though you go through training camp, you go through preseason and training camp in the NFL was different than it was a decade ago, 2 decades ago. Those teams are still filling it out, getting those first 3-4 weeks of the season of jail. So I feel like in a lot of cases, you wouldn't really make a big deal about that. But to be at the crib and lose to the Raiders, regardless of how you trying to fill out these new pieces on the squad, that's not a loss that you could take in week 2. If you're trying to submit yourself as one of the dogs, if you're trying to submit yourself as a favorite to win a Super Bowl, you can't take a loss at the crib to the Raiders.
Chris, what's going on? And I know you wearing your Steelers shirt. I know you want to say they're just the Baltimore Ravens, and that's why they are that way. But what's the problem with the Baltimore Ravens?
Hey, Gibbs, I might hurt your heart with this one. I might hurt your heart.
Don't you say it. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I have to question if Lamar Jackson trusts his team.
Lord,
I don't think Lamar Jackson is trusting his receivers anymore. I think he's given up. I honestly think he's given up. It's real early in the season, but if you look at it, he has ample time to throw it to some of them. He I'll probably get 10 yards on my feet. I'll probably give it to Derrick Henry. That Derrick Henry effect, it gave him a little safety net, okay, I got somebody else that can get the ball downfield like me. And I think he's losing trust in his receivers. Andrews just got out of a car accident. He was looking kind of training camp coming out that car accident. I just think that he really struggling with, he see what Patrick Mahomes got and Ray Rice and Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce. I got a injured Mark Andrews. My receiving core has been with me for a while, and when I need him to show up, they don't. I don't know, Giz. I think Lamar is going to has a mental battle right now. I think there's a lot of this got to go to Lamar. He's not making the right reads, not making the right passes. I don't know.
I'm gonna say something, and some people are gonna be mad at me for saying it, but it needs to be said.
Oh, hey.
That team is too Lamar dependent. That team is entirely too Lamar dependent. That offensive line is so damn bad. I'm sitting up here thinking to myself, if you would give him the ability to conserve some of that energy for the fourth quarter, he can make those Patrick Mahomes type throws. He can make those, the throws that are big time throws that win you football games. But if you're asking him to be Superman for the entirety of the game, I'm sorry to tell you, that young man is from Florida. I'm not sure if he's Broward or Dade, but he's somewhere down Boynton Beach, I believe, is where he's from in Florida. That young man ain't come here from Krypton. There's only so much he can do before it's like, all right, that's enough. And he starts petering out. And the last thing I'll say is this. Because he is, I believe, number 4 or so in the league in passing yardage, but 16th in total QBR. I am saying this from the most genuine standpoint I can. You have to. And I don't say this lightly. I don't say this with any type of joking infliction or tone going on here. You have to get that man some very serious help in terms of not just the receiving core and the skill position. People have talked about their tackles as if they're amazing for years. Them boys been living off reputation for quite some time. They have got to show up and be better. Because if not, it's going to continue to look real bad for Lamar in terms of his ability to win them games. Because, again, he's asked to do it by himself. Last thing here, before we move on to some other things in terms of, the teams that we're looking at as like, hey, they're exactly what we expected. In terms of the 0-2 teams, I know that we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens, but there's another team in the AFC North that's also 0-2. The Cincinnati Bengals ain't won a game yet. Do you think that it's a moment where you're starting to push the panic button on the Bengals after another slow start? Is it time for them to shake something up in terms of the coaching for another slow start, or what do y'all think is the fix there?
I'm not sure what the thing is with the Bengals, but as somebody that's not that's a football fan but not a Bengals fan, the Lions is my team. The Steelers is Chris' team. So if we got a 7 out of 10 knowledge on the whole league, we got a 10 out of 10 knowledge on our team. We know what's going on with our team more than the rest of the league. But I do know that what's going on with the Bengals, it's a chemistry issue. It's a locker room issue. I'm not sure what the cog in the machine is that's not causing this thing to go smooth, because they have the talent to be one of those elite teams that we talk about when we talk about teams that's going to go deep in the playoffs. But when we watch them out there on the field, when we watch, the body language is a big thing to me when I'm watching any sport. Their body language, they're not moving as a unit. Their chemistry, you could tell that they aren't together. So I'm not sure if that's coaching. I'm not sure if it's an individual player. I'm not sure if they're so used to losing that it's just a bad mojo in the locker room. But I think that they need a culture change, and whatever it is that needs to happen to figure that out, the Bengals got to figure it out now, because their window of having that amount of talent on the same team is closing quick.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Chris, what you thinking?
I honestly think the opposite of Guyton. I think they'd be all right. They injured. They got the injury bug. Joe Burrow coming back from last season being out for 10 games. T. Higgins still ain't back yet. They got a couple of defenders that's out. I think they'd be all right. I think they'd be second behind the Steelers. I got the Steelers winning the division. I think they'd be second behind the Steelers. They'd be all right.
I got you. No. Uh-oh. Am I? Do I still got y'all? It sounds like I'm breaking.
You good now? You good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna tell you this. The thing that concerns me most about the Bengals isn't that they've lost some games, because you lose a 1-point thriller to the Chiefs. I live with that. I'm fine with that. You only put up 10 points against the Patriots. 10 points. You're supposed to be this high-flying, dynamic offense, and all you can muster up is 10 measly points.
They don't have their 2 receiver, and then their first receiver missed half a training camp.
I hear you. I'm with you. I understand that. That's the same Patriots team that just lost to the Seahawks. Now, don't get me wrong. The Seahawks are in that undefeated group. Don't get me wrong. We all know about DK Metcalf. We all know about Tyler Lockett. We all know about that group and what they can do. And we all know that those tackles, those young tackles that were getting whooped on last year, hey, they starting to look like some young bulls out there. They starting to look good. But with that being said, it's not just that they got beat by the Seahawks. The Seahawks putting up 23 on you. You telling me you can't get close to what Geno and company can do? You're looking a little funny in the light, brother. You're looking a little funny in the light. The injury bug is real. They are going to get more healthy, but it is a question of how long do you, or when does this continuity kind of work itself out and get itself together? Now, fellas, let me ask y'all this, okay? We talked about the 0-1 teams. We talked about the 2-0 team, or 0-2 teams and the 2-0 teams. But let's talk about the middle of the pack for a second here. There are multiple teams that are exactly sitting at 1-1. Let me ask you this. It's early in the season. Are there any teams that you've changed your mind about already? Regardless of record, is there any team that you watch and you're like, they're a little better than I thought. Or, that team is cheeks. They are much worse than I thought.
I think me and Chris got the same answer, and we might have it for different reasons. And Gibbs, you might not agree. Mine is the Lions. And look here. No, hear me out. Hear me out. Just listen.
All right, I'm gonna hear you.
The Lions, like the Lions 2 years ago, they ended the season hot. I think we ended up with 8 wins.
Something like that.
And we like, okay, the Lions looking like they might be putting something together. They might be a little decent, but at the same time, we used to be a Lions fan. In the back of my mind, I wanted them to be good. But if last season they weren't good, my feelings wouldn't have been hurt.
Right.
Last season, we saw what they did. They came out, that was great. And I think that they caught a lot of teams off guard because a lot of people was going into Ford Field expecting to play the Lions, and they played some dogs. These wasn't the same Lions. Yeah. Now the whole league is on notice, and they saying, hey, these Lions, they serious. They some dogs. We got to go out here, and we got to take these games serious against them. Mm-hmm. After this game last week, I need to see how the Lions respond. Because they went out there at home against Tampa Bay, who wanted revenge because they lost to them last year in the playoffs, and Tampa Bay punched us in the mouth. And we made some bad decisions down the stretch that cost us the game. I need to see if the Lions are able to come through with that same tenacity, if they able to pull out those same W's with a target on their back. Because last year, even though they were good, most of the season they spent without a target on their back because most of the people was expecting to play the Lions, and they played a whole new team.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you this. My only problem with that is they beat the Bucs in literally every single stat that you could imagine. It just works out that way some games where it's just like, damn, what happened? Total yards, 463 Lions, 216 Bucs. Passing yards, 324 Lions, 146 Bucs. Rushing yards, 139 Lions, 70 Bucs. Yards per play, 4.6 Bucs, 5.6 Lions. They beat them in every imaginable, quantifiable area, and somehow it was just those one or two plays that it's just like, damn, you did what you were supposed to do. But I will say this. Ain't it exciting as a Lions fan to be in this zone where like the fans start tripping after one loss?
It's a little nerve wracking, honestly, because before when I was watching Lions games, I'm like, win, lose, or draw, I'm just watching some football. Now I'm expecting us to win, so when we sell, I'm pissed at the crib. My whole Sunday was ruined off that, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm still the same guy as I was when I was on 16. The only difference is I'm no longer at the game. Shout out to Auntie Toya giving us those tickets with the free Happy Meal. She don't work there no more, so y'all can't fire her, Murder Mac. But anyway, it's the only difference is I'm no longer sitting at the 50-yard line to watch the end of the game. Whatever the Lions do, man, hey, I'm excited. I'm happy for them. But I'll say this. I do think that they get it. I think they get it right. I'm not worried about this team at all. There are many more teams in the league that I thought would be good that I'm more bullish on than the Lions. But we'll get there in just a second. Chris, who you got?
So it was going to be the Lions, guy. It was going to be the Lions. Because no way in hell you lose a game when Aiden Hutchinson get 5 sacks. There's no way in hell you lose that game. And like Gibbs said, I looked up before we did the podcast. They beat them in every statistical category. Those are games you close out and win, right? But the team I'm going with, and y'all gonna be surprised. The Cardinals without Cliff Kingsbury.
Man.
It is amazing what the Lord will do. It is amazing what the Lord will do. Did y'all see Kyler Murray out there?
Yeah, he looked good.
He like what we thought he was gonna be.
That boy happy.
Yeah.
Do you see Barbie Jones? That's a game.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
That
You
is a
got-
demon. Maserati bar for real.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you.
Listen. How about them Cardinals? What we gonna be saying in a minute? I mean,
Cardinals
it is a
Lions coming
special
up. That's gonna
place.
be a game.
It is a special place for them Cardinals right now.
I'm gonna say a team that some people are gonna say is not fair and it's kicking them when they down, but I gotta say it anyway. The Panthers are worse than I could have imagined. Those boys
Yeah.
are worse than I could have imagined. So what do you mean, Kenton? Let me explain this to you. Through their first 2 games, they have lost by a combined score of 73-13. You are benching your former number 1 overall draft pick of 2 years ago. You are looking at a situation where they're asking, you know what, can we tank a couple more times and get Arch Manning in a couple years? Are you smoking crack? If the Mannings wouldn't allow Eli to go to San Diego, what makes you think Arch, who is playing like Peyton with some mobility on him, he got granddaddy's mobility but Peyton's arm on him, what makes you think that that family rather, is going to let their boy go to a team that Bryce Young has had 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 offensive coordinators. In how many years? This is his 3rd. And y'all think that Arch is going to go in that? That team is beyond abysmal. Everything from the owner down stinks. Tepper stinks. The stadium stinks. I went there to cover the Dukes Mayo Bowl or the Dukes Mayo Kickoff Classic. Watch Tennessee State get their brains beat in by Tennessee. But you know what I noticed? They had the exact same food that they had at that game last year. The food stinks. Everything about that place stinks.
You know what's crazy? I was in Charlotte, staying at a hotel across the street from the Panthers Stadium, and it was a game that day, and it was no difference in traffic.
None.
No difference in traffic.
hey.
The game was over. I seen like
Hey, listen.
17 people walk out the doors.
And here, wait. Here's the crazy part about that. So y'all don't live in North Carolina. I do. Y'all don't spend a lot of time in Charlotte. I have. Traffic everywhere is bad in Charlotte.
Man,
you know how bad you gotta be to make traffic normal in an area?
I live in Atlanta. I think I might pick Atlanta traffic over Charlotte.
Oh, Atlanta traffic way worse than Charlotte. If we had to pick like traffic tiers, it's like LA, Houston and Atlanta like neck and neck at a close second.
No.
And
It's L.A., New York, Chicago, Atlanta up there, and then I would go Charlotte.
I don't know if I'm putting Chicago. I mean, it's different because you live there. I don't know if I'm putting Chicago ahead of Atlanta, bro.
Yeah, Chicago
Listen.
ahead of Atlanta.
Google this. I live 30 minutes outside the city, right? 30 minutes outside the city. Google this. I'll give y'all my exact address after the show. It takes me, if I left my house before 9 p.m., if let's say I left at 4, right? 4 o'clock, right before rush hour, but not quite rush hour, I'm not getting to the city until 6:30. That's how bad Chicago is. It says
Listen,
2 miles, it'd be 38 minutes.
I'm not saying Chicago ain't bad. I was just referencing it against the places I've been personally. Like I know New York traffic is terrible. I've never been, so I can't really judge it. But against the places I've been, that's probably what I would rank the traffic. But I'm gonna tell you, you got to be a special type of stinky to make Charlotte traffic subside. For like, we're just having
bro.
We can drive on through here.
And you know what? Y'all seen life, right? Y'all remember Can't Get Right? Charlotte just can't get right. Them damn Hornets can't get right. Them damn Panthers can't get right. Like, they just can't get right, bro. They can't get right, dog.
And I'm telling you, they ain't getting a baseball team either. Everybody keep talking about bring a baseball team to Charlotte. What you want to bring a team there for? To have another losing organization?
They got a AAA ball club. They'll be fine.
That's it. That's all you need. That's all
They'll be fine.
That's about all you need because the city of Charlotte, they acting real cursed out here. So the last thing, we talked about this before we got on there, but we've got to talk about it now. In terms of the MVP race so far this season, who would be the guys that y'all are looking at and saying, hey, This is one of those ones to watch out for late in the season in terms of MVP.
I thought we were going for favorites. If we going for favorites, then it's Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to do that. I hate to do that. So
let me ask you this.
It's going to be Pat Mahomes.
If somebody asks you to bet right now, Pat Mahomes or the field, you going Pat?
I'm going Pat.
That's
Okay,
a
Chris?
safe ass bet. What you mean? You said like,
Hey, watch this. Book this now.
No.
Book this now.
I'm not going Pat.
You going the field, Chris?
I wouldn't go Pat, but that's a safe bet. I'm going the field. Yeah, I'm going the field.
I would go the field, and I would put everything on it. Let me tell you why. Travis Kelce is going to sleepwalk through this regular season. We have seen it through these first 2 games. He's good. He don't give a damn about this regular season no more. He got that sheriff mustache, and he decided the regular season ain't for me. Good for him.
It's crazy. When he was dating, you know who. It's crazy how he was acting. Now he dating, you know who.
Hey,
I'm just gonna leave that for the audience to interpret.
He hit a reverse Umar.
Crazy.
He said snow bunnies forever, black queens never. More power to him. But I'm gonna tell you, Rashee Rice is probably gonna get suspended at some point in time. I really do. I highly doubt that they're gonna let him.
He on my fantasy team. I'm sick about it. Yeah.
Exactly. And Xavier Worthy, he's good, but he's young. And those guys were right when they said, hey, if you jam him up, if you get hands on him, you'll be just fine. Like, it's been that case so far this season. I think that the field takes it, but Patrick Mahomes is in good position. I'm going to say one thing, though, before I toss it to y'all. There is no way under God's green earth Derek Carr sustains this and wins the MVP. All right, take it away, fellas. Who y'all got? So, Josh, you got Pat. Chris, who you got?
Y'all gonna hate me.
Don't say Justin Fields. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Chris.
I ain't smoking crack. No, hell.
All right, I was about to say.
Y'all are gonna hate me, but let me just look at something real quick.
All right, now shoot it straight. Now, be honest. Here we go. I don't hate you for the Josh Allen pick. He was due for one. I think Josh Allen was due for one.
He due for one.
I think he do. It's either him or CJ Stroud. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something.
I'm leaning Josh.
CJ Stroud is my guy. CJ Stroud is 1,000% my guy. That I'm like, listen, he is acting unruly on that field.
Honestly, if Lamar Jackson had one bad game at the end of last year, CJ Stroud was going to be MVP.
Okay. All right. Well. Folks, I'm gonna tell you this. If CJ Stroud wins that thing, that would be what? 2 different black quarterbacks winning it back to back. Would that be a first in NFL history? I feel like that would be a first.
I would believe so. Who won it the year after Lamar won his first?
That's a great question.
Was it Pat?
Was it Pat? Did we already have 2 back to back? Are we disrespecting?
Yeah, technically.
Oh Lord.
Bro. I'm tired of the Pat not being black slander. He's black.
He's black. No, he's black.
He's black, but like you know what I mean?
Somebody sent me a picture of his kids.
Hold on. Wait a minute. We have had 2 black quarterbacks back to back win it. However, both times.
Hold on. Give me the years.
Back to back. Say what?
Give me the years.
It was 2019 and 2018.
Okay, so that wouldn't have been Lamar and Pat Mahomes?
And then 2022 and 2023.
That's Lamar.
Lamar.
Sure. And then
Lamar and Pat Mahomes, ain't it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was them 2 times. So we could be looking at 3 straight black quarterback MVPs.
Because it was Pat, Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar, Pat. I mean Pat, Lamar.
So it was Pat Lamar, AR, Pat Lamar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, Listen, I'm telling you, we have never.
There's
in
one
NFL
thing about
history,
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm just saying we've never in NFL history seen 3 back-to-back black quarterbacks win it. So it's something to take.
It's one thing about Buffalo. They love them a big white guy though. They love them a big white guy in Buffalo.
That boy said, take it back to Jim Kelly and the K-Girl on offense on them. They love them one of them. No, but I feel it. All right, folks. I know y'all tired of us talking about the freak-offs and how much oil is the appropriate amount. By the way, just know if you copping more than 5 bottles of oil, the boys are on the way. They're on the way. Okay? We own you. We own you. We own you. I know y'all tired of us talking about disappointing teams, exciting teams. By the way, if Harbaugh keeps that up out there in LA, boy oh boy, some conversations gonna have to be had about Jay Herbert and company. But come on back to next week and the week after that and the week after that. Peace and love, y'all.